Check your phone, answer messages, scroll through social media, worry about what other people are doing, and move from one distraction to another. At the end of the day, you feel tired, but you cannot clearly explain what you accomplished. This is where the power of focus begins. If you want to change your life, you must learn to separate what is important from what is merely demanding your attention. Not everything that makes noise deserves your energy. Not every opportunity deserves your time. Not every opinion deserves your response. And not every problem deserves a place in your mind. Jim Rohn often emphasized the importance of taking responsibility for your life and becoming intentional about the way you spend your time. Your life is built from the choices you make every day. If you continuously give your attention to small and meaningless things, you will eventually have very little energy left for the things that can truly change your future. Ask yourself a simple question: what truly matters to me? Your answer might be your family, it might be your health, it might be your career, your business, your education, your personal growth, your faith, or the dream you have been postponing for years. Whatever your answer is, that thing deserves more than your leftover time. It deserves your best attention. The problem is that most people give their best energy to distractions and their remaining energy to their dreams. They spend hours watching other people live while complaining that they do not have enough time to build their own life. They worry about people who do not support them. They compare their progress with someone else's success. They consume information endlessly but take very little action. You cannot build an extraordinary life with scattered attention. Focus means deciding what matters and refusing to let everything else control you. Imagine trying to light a piece of paper with sunlight. The sunlight is powerful, but it is spread everywhere. Now take a magnifying glass and concentrate those rays into one small point. Suddenly, that same sunlight becomes strong enough to create heat. Your attention works the same way. When your energy is scattered across hundreds of things, your results remain weak. But when you concentrate your attention on one meaningful goal, your power increases. This does not mean you must ignore everything else in life. It means you must know your priorities. Your first priority might be becoming a better version of yourself. Before you can change your circumstances, you have to change the person creating those circumstances. Improve your thinking, improve your habits, improve your skills, improve your discipline. Do not spend your entire life trying to change the world around you while refusing to change yourself. Read something valuable every day. Learn a skill. Listen to ideas that challenge you. Spend time thinking. Write down your goals. Examine your habits. Ask yourself where your time is going, because your future is hidden inside your daily routine. If you spend your mornings focused on distractions, you are training your mind to become distracted. But if you begin your day by focusing on your priorities, you are teaching yourself discipline. The first hours of your day can influence the entire direction of your day. Before you give your attention to the world, give some attention to yourself. Ask, what is the most important thing I need to accomplish today? Then do it. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing they need to do everything at once. They want to become successful, healthy, wealthy, educated, disciplined, and productive overnight. They create huge lists and then become overwhelmed. Instead, simplify. Choose the few things that matter most and give them consistent effort. Success is not always about doing more. Sometimes success is about doing less, but doing it better. You do not need 20 goals. You need clarity. You do not need to impress everyone. You need to respect yourself. You do not need to know everything. You need to keep learning. You do not need perfect circumstances. You need disciplined action. There will always be distractions. There will always be someone criticizing you. There will always be another video to watch, another message to answer, another argument to join, another trend to follow, and another reason to postpone your work. If you allow every distraction to interrupt you, you will never have enough uninterrupted time to build something meaningful. Protect your attention. Your attention is one of your greatest assets. Money can be earned again. Time cannot. When you spend money carelessly, you can sometimes replace it. But when you spend an hour carelessly, that hour is gone forever. This is why you must become careful about what you allow into your day. Be careful about the people you spend time with. The people around you influence your thinking. Their habits can become your habits. Their standards can become your standards. Their conversations can influence what you believe is possible. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, excuses, gossip, and complaining, eventually those things begin to feel normal. Choose people who encourage growth. Choose people who challenge you to improve. Choose people who believe in responsibility instead of excuses. And most importantly, become that kind of person yourself. Do not wait for the perfect environment. Create a better environment. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Put your phone away when you are working. Stop checking social media every few minutes. Stop comparing your journey with someone else's highlight reel. Stop worrying about what everyone else thinks. You have a life to build, and nobody can build it for you. There is another important lesson about focus. Learn to say no. Every yes has a cost. When you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. If you say yes to endless entertainment, you may be saying no to personal growth. If you say yes to unnecessary arguments, you may be saying no to peace. If you say yes to distractions, you may be saying no to your goals. Saying no does not make you selfish. Sometimes saying no is how you protect your future. You must understand that your time is limited. Your energy is limited. Your attention is limited, therefore spend them wisely. Think about the person you want to become 5 years from now. What would that person do today? Would they waste hours comparing themselves to strangers? Would they constantly complain? Would they keep postponing important work? Or would they read, learn, practice, work, save, improve, and take responsibility? Your future self is being created by your present choices. Every day, you are casting votes for the person you will become. When you choose discipline, you vote for strength. When you choose learning, you vote for wisdom. When you choose patience, you vote for maturity. When you choose action, you vote for progress. When you choose excuses, you vote for staying the same. You do not change your life in one dramatic moment. Most of the time, life changes through small decisions repeated consistently. That is why you should stop underestimating small actions. Read 10 pages, exercise for 30 minutes, save a little money, learn one new concept, complete one important task, have one meaningful conversation, improve one weakness. Do it again tomorrow. Small actions become habits. Habits become character. Character influences your future. Do not become obsessed with immediate results. A seed does not become a tree in one day. Growth takes time. Your responsibility is to plant the seed, water it, protect it, and continue. You cannot control exactly when the results will appear, but you can control whether you continue. This is where patience becomes powerful. Many people quit because they expected success too quickly. They start something for a few weeks, see limited results, and decide that it is not working. But what if the real problem is not the plan? What if the real problem is inconsistency? You cannot judge a long-term transformation by a few days of effort. Stay focused, keep learning, keep improving, keep showing up. There will be difficult days, there will be failures. There will be moments when you question yourself. Those moments do not mean you should stop. They mean you have an opportunity to become stronger. Failure can teach you what success cannot. It can show you where your weaknesses are. It can force you to become more disciplined. It can teach you humility. It can help you understand what really matters. Do not waste failure by simply feeling bad about it. Learn from it. Ask yourself, what can this experience teach me? Then use the lesson. Another thing that truly matters is your health. You can have ambitious goals, but without energy and health, pursuing them becomes much harder. Take care of your body, move your body, eat responsibly, sleep properly, give yourself time to recover. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through your life. Treat it with respect. Your relationships matter too. Do not become so focused on success that you forget the people you love. What is the point of achieving everything if you have nobody to share it with? Give time to your family, listen to people, show appreciation, keep your promises, be present. Sometimes the most important moments in life are not expensive or spectacular. They are simple conversations, shared meals, laughter, support, and memories. Do not become so busy building a future that you forget to live the present. Balance matters. Focus does not mean becoming obsessed with one area while destroying everything else. True focus means knowing what deserves attention at each stage of life. When you are working, work. When you are learning, learn. When you are with family, be present. When you are resting, rest. Give your full attention to the moment. This is how you stop living a fragmented life. And remember, you do not need permission to change. You do not need everyone to understand your goals. You do not need everyone to support your decisions. Some people will not understand the direction you are taking because they cannot see what you see. That is okay. Respect people, but do not surrender your future to their opinions. Your life is your responsibility. At the end of the day, you have to live with the results of your choices. So choose carefully. Choose your priorities, choose your habits, choose your environment, choose your friends, choose what you consume, choose what you think about, choose where you spend your time, because these choices are quietly creating your future. If you want to become successful, stop asking, what can I do to become successful instantly? Start asking, what matters most and what can I do about it today? That question will change your life. Focus on what matters. Let go of what does not. Stop chasing every distraction. Stop trying to please everyone. Stop comparing. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start building, start learning, start improving, start taking responsibility. Your life does not need to be perfect before you begin. You only need to begin. So today, take a few minutes and write down the things that truly matter to you. Then write down the things that are stealing your attention. Be honest. You may discover that some of the things consuming your time are not important at all. Remove them. Simplify your life. Protect your energy. Protect your peace. Protect your dreams. And then give your best effort to the things that deserve it. Because one day you will look back at this period of your life. You will either be proud that you used your time wisely, or you will wish you had paid more attention to what truly mattered. The choice is being made today, not someday, today. So focus. Focus on becoming better. Focus on building your character. Focus on your health. Focus on your relationships. Focus on your goals. Focus on learning. Focus on discipline. Focus on the people you love. Focus on becoming the person you know you can become. The world will always offer you distractions. Your job is to decide what deserves your attention. Remember, you do not need to do everything. You just need to do the right things consistently. And when you learn to focus on what truly matters, your life becomes clearer, your decisions become stronger, your time becomes more valuable, and your future becomes more intentional. So stop giving your best energy to things that do not matter. Bring your attention back, bring your discipline back, bring your purpose back, and start building the life you were meant to live. Your time is valuable, your attention is valuable, your life is valuable. Treat them that way. That question can change everything. Because most people do not intentionally choose where their life goes. They react. They react to notifications. They react to other people's opinions. They react to problems. They react to pressure. They react to fear. They react to whatever happens around them. But a successful life requires something different. It requires intention. You must decide what deserves your attention before the world decides it for you. Every morning the world will present you with hundreds of things competing for your attention. Some will be important. Many will not. Some will help you grow. Others will simply consume your time. Your responsibility is to recognize the difference. That is the power of wisdom. Wisdom is not knowing everything. Wisdom is knowing what matters. You can spend 10 hours doing something and accomplish very little. You can also spend one focused hour doing something meaningful and move your life forward. The difference is not always effort. The difference is direction. Imagine getting into a car and driving as fast as possible without knowing where you are going. You may have plenty of energy. You may have a powerful vehicle. You may drive for hours, but if you are going in the wrong direction, speed will not save you. Life works the same way. You can work hard and still move away from the life you want. You can stay busy and still make no meaningful progress. You can have a full schedule and an empty sense of purpose. That is why you must regularly stop and ask yourself, where am I going? Then ask, is what I am doing today taking me there? If the answer is no, make a change. Do not be afraid to change direction. Sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is admit that something is no longer working. Maybe you have been spending time with people who constantly bring you down. Maybe you have developed habits that are damaging your future. Maybe you have been chasing money while ignoring your health. Maybe you have been trying to impress people who do not truly care about you. Maybe you have been working toward a goal that was never really yours. Life becomes easier when you stop living for appearances and start living according to your values. You do not have to prove yourself to everyone. You do not have to win every argument. You do not have to respond to every criticism. You do not have to explain every decision. Sometimes peace comes from simply saying, this does not deserve my attention. Think about how much energy people waste defending themselves. Someone says something negative, and they spend the entire day thinking about it. Someone succeeds, and they spend the entire evening comparing themselves. Someone criticizes them, and they allow those words to destroy their confidence. But why? Why give so much power to people who are not responsible for your future? You cannot control what people think about you. You can control how you respond. And sometimes the strongest response is no response at all. Keep working, keep improving. Let your results speak. Focus is not just about where you put your attention. It is also about what you refuse to give attention to. You must learn the art of ignoring. Ignore unnecessary drama. Ignore pointless arguments. Ignore meaningless comparisons. Ignore the temptation to constantly prove yourself. Ignore the voice that tells you to quit because progress is slow. Instead, listen to the voice that reminds you why you started. There will be days when motivation disappears. That is normal. Motivation is powerful, but discipline is more reliable. You cannot depend on feeling inspired every morning. Some mornings you will feel tired. Some days you will feel discouraged. Some days you will question whether your efforts are worth it. This is where discipline takes over. Discipline says, do it anyway. Do the workout anyway. Read the book anyway. Complete the work anyway. Study anyway. Wake up anyway. Keep your promise to yourself anyway. Because every time you do something difficult, when you do not feel like doing it, you strengthen your character. You teach yourself that your feelings do not control your decisions. That is a powerful lesson. You are not required to feel motivated before taking action. Action often creates motivation. Start moving and momentum will follow. Or start working and confidence will follow. Start learning and clarity will follow. Start improving and hope will follow. Do not wait for the perfect emotional state. Build the habit of acting despite discomfort. Your future will thank you. Another important part of focusing on what matters is understanding the difference between urgent and important. Some things feel urgent because they demand immediate attention. But urgency does not always equal importance. A notification can be urgent. A message can be urgent. A small problem can be urgent. But your health may not feel urgent until you become sick. Your relationships may not feel urgent until someone you love is no longer there. Your financial future may not feel urgent until a crisis arrives. Your personal development may not feel urgent until years have passed and you realize you have not grown. Important things often whisper. Distractions often shout. That is why you must deliberately pay attention to the quiet things that matter. Your health, your character, your knowledge, your family, your skills, your financial discipline, your spiritual and personal growth, your long-term goals. These things may not demand your attention today, but they shape your life tomorrow. Plant them now, protect them now, invest in them now. Do not wait until a crisis forces you to care. One of the greatest investments you can make is investing in yourself. When you improve yourself, you improve your ability to handle life. Learn how to communicate, learn how to manage money, learn how to manage your emotions, learn how to solve problems, learn how to work with people, learn how to think critically, learn how to learn. The more capable you become, the more valuable you become. And remember, education does not end when school ends. Real education continues for life. Read, observe, listen, ask questions, study successful people, study your failures. Study your own behavior. Your life itself is a classroom. Every mistake has a lesson. Every challenge has a lesson. Every difficult person has a lesson. Every failure can teach you something, but only if you are willing to learn. Do not waste your pain. Use it. If you went through a difficult period, ask yourself what it taught you. Maybe it taught you patience. Maybe it taught you independence. Maybe it taught you who your real friends are. Maybe it taught you to stop trusting everyone. Maybe it taught you to become stronger. Pain does not automatically make you wiser. Reflection does. Take the lesson and move forward. Do not build your identity around your past. You are not your worst mistake. You are not your biggest failure. You are not the opinion someone had about you. You are the person you choose to become. And that person is built through daily decisions. Every day gives you another opportunity to become disciplined, another opportunity to become healthier, another opportunity to become kinder, another opportunity to become smarter, another opportunity to become more focused, another opportunity to begin again. Never underestimate the power of beginning again. Maybe you wasted the last 5 years. Maybe you made poor decisions. Maybe you lost opportunities. Maybe you were distracted. Maybe you were afraid. You cannot change yesterday, but you can change today. And today is enough to start. Do not spend today regretting yesterday. Use today to create tomorrow. This is where responsibility becomes powerful. You may not control where you started. You may not control everything that happened to you, but you can influence what happens next. Your circumstances may be difficult, but your response still matters. You may not have everything you want, but you can improve what you have. You may not know everything, but you can learn. You may not be where you want to be, but you can take one step forward. One step, then another, then another. That is how mountains are climbed, not in one giant leap, but one step at a time. The same principle applies to your goals. If your goal feels overwhelming, break it down. Do not ask, how will I completely transform my life? Ask, what is one thing I can improve today? If you want better health, start with one healthy decision. If you want financial freedom, start by controlling one unnecessary expense. If you want more knowledge, start with a few pages of reading. If you want a better career, learn one valuable skill. If you want better relationships, start by listening more carefully. Small steps create momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates stronger action. And stronger action creates results. This is how transformation happens. Quietly, gradually, consistently. You may not notice the change every day, but after 6 months, 1 year, or 5 years, you will look back and realize that those small decisions changed everything. That is why you must respect the ordinary day. Do not wait for a special day to change your life. There is nothing magical about January 1st. There is nothing magical about Monday. There is nothing magical about next month. The magical moment is the moment you decide to take responsibility. Today can be that moment. Right now can be that moment. Close the distractions, put down the phone, stop scrolling, stop comparing, take a breath. Look at your life honestly. What matters? Who matters? What needs to change? What goal deserves your attention? What habit needs to disappear? What habit needs to begin? Then take action, not someday, today, because the greatest danger is not failure. The greatest danger is spending years distracted. Imagine reaching the end of a decade and realizing that you spent most of it worrying about things that never mattered. Imagine realizing you spent your energy trying to impress people you barely knew. Imagine realizing you postponed your dreams because you were afraid of what people would say. Imagine realizing you had time, but you did not use it. Do not let that become your story. Your attention is your life. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If you focus on problems all day, problems become bigger. If you focus on possibilities, you begin to see opportunities. If you focus on growth, you begin to find ways to improve. If you focus on gratitude, you begin to recognize what you already have. If you focus on your purpose, distractions lose their power. You cannot always control what happens, but you can control what you focus on. That is your responsibility. So protect your mind. Be selective about what you watch. Be selective about what you listen to. Be selective about who influences you. Be selective about what you believe. Your mind is a garden. Whatever you repeatedly plant will eventually grow. Plant discipline, plant courage, plant patience, plant knowledge, plant gratitude, plant responsibility, plant ambition, then protect those seeds from negativity. Your thoughts influence your actions. Your actions become habits. Your habits shape your character. And your character shapes your future. This is why the battle for your future begins inside your mind. Train your mind to focus. When you are working, work. When you are learning, learn. When you are resting, rest. When you are with someone you love, be fully present. Do not live everywhere except where you actually are. Presence is a form of respect. Respect yourself enough to give your goals your full attention. Respect your family enough to be present with them. Respect your health enough to take care of your body. Respect your future enough to make sacrifices today. Because sometimes what truly matters requires sacrifice. You may have to say no to comfort. You may have to wake up earlier. You may have to study while others are relaxing. You may have to save while others are spending. You may have to work quietly while others are seeking attention. But remember this: you are not sacrificing your life, you are investing in it. The temporary discomfort of discipline is often easier than the permanent pain of regret. So choose your difficult. Choose the difficulty that builds you. Choose the discipline that creates freedom. Choose the work that creates opportunity. Choose the habits that create confidence. Choose the people who encourage your growth. Choose the future over temporary comfort. And most importantly, choose what truly matters. Your life is too valuable to be controlled by distractions. Your dreams are too important to be postponed forever. Your time is too precious to be wasted. You do not need to become perfect. You simply need to become more intentional. A little more focused, a little more disciplined, a little more patient, a little more courageous. Every day. That is enough. So when you wake up tomorrow, do not immediately give your attention to the world. Give your attention to your purpose first. Remember what you are building. Remember why you started. Remember who you want to become. Then take one meaningful action. And when the day becomes difficult, return to your priorities. When distractions appear, return to your priorities. When fear appears, return to your priorities. When doubt appears, return to your priorities. When people criticize you, return to your priorities. When progress feels slow, return to your priorities. Your priorities become your compass. They remind you where you are going, and if you keep following that compass, eventually you will arrive somewhere better. So simplify your life. Focus your mind, control your attention. Improve yourself, take responsibility, protect your time, invest in what matters, let go of what does not, and never forget that a meaningful life is not created by doing everything. It is created by doing the right things. The right things consistently, the right things patiently, the right things even when nobody is watching. One day, the results will speak. Your character will speak. Your health will speak. Your relationships will speak. Your knowledge will speak. Your achievements will speak. And you will know that the sacrifices were worth it. So focus. Focus on what truly matters. Because your attention is shaping your life right now. And if you can control your attention, you can begin to control your direction. If you can control your direction, you can change your habits. If you can change your habits, you can change your results. And if you can change your results, you can change your life. The future is not built tomorrow. It is built today. One choice, one habit, one action, one focused day at a time. So choose wisely. Saint